Me.
I'm eating a cookie.
Are you recording?
Yeah. Wait. I don't have lines.
Oh, man. That's hitting the spot. Okay, yeah, I'm ready to go. So we're doing something different today.
We are.
Today we are in my house.
Yep, and Evie made iced tea with oat milk.
Yep. Oh, so should I give them the rundown of how I prepared this tea?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's really not very involved, but what it has is I get Assam tea, which is like I think it's like an Indian tea, a black tea.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a fellow tea kettle. I get it up to 210 degrees.
What's a fellow tea kettle?
I know I said that, and I was hoping I laid the bait, and you took it.
Yeah, it fell into your trap.
Well, it's like they're really cool. They're like these. You can see it over there. It's like a tea kettle, but it's all electronic. So I'll say I need it at 210.
Why is it called fellow? Like good fellow? Jean brand?
Like the Target brand?
Yeah.
Well, no, but the thing I like is that you can set it to like 210 degrees.
That's hot.
Yeah, well, that's optimal tea brewing temperature.
Yeah.
And so I set it to 210 degrees. I let the water get hot, and then I put the water into the tea. Let it steep for about 3 to 4 minutes. Get an iced cup, put half tea, and then the rest of oatmeal barista brand. There you go.
You heard
barista brand oat milk.
You say barista, not barista?
Yeah, I don't say barista. I think barista is that. I think that may be a Spanish word.
Barista?
Yeah.
So you're saying it correctly?
No, I'm saying it wrong. Oh, you know what I learned? Sorry, I got excited just now.
We're having a segue.
Well,
no. You're allowed to do this.
You know what I learned the other day? Cahuenga. You know what that word means?
Oh, here we go. You mean Cahuenga?
No. Well, I'm like...
Cahuenga. Cahuenga.
No.
Cahuenga.
Apparently it's a Tongvan word. Tongvan being the people who were here much before everybody else.
The Mexicans.
No. Before the Mexicans.
I don't know what Tongvan people are.
Tongvan people are like an indigenous group of people that were, the Native Americans that were here in California before.
But they were probably Mexican. Like
No, they were Native American.
They were Native American. Oh, Native American.
Native American.
Jesus Christ.
Tongvan.
What is the theme of this podcast? Like something that we have to remove right away? Like we
No,
start out with something controversial.
But that's not controversial. No, they were here.
I just wish I knew,
Oh, right. Well, if you want to go back, we can do a take where
We'll start it from right here. Oh, Tongvan, yeah. I have a lot of respect for that, yeah.
Well, Cahuenga means...
you can't laugh. You can't laugh. Sorry. Here we go. Oh,
would you want me to give you the lead-in? So you know what I found out the other day is that Cahuenga is a Tongvan word.
Oh, you mean Cahuenga?
Cahuenga, yeah. Well, I say Cahuenga.
Okay, Cahuenga. Cahuenga.
But it's actually a Tongvan word.
Oh, Tongvan? I love them. A lot of respect for those people. They were, just so you know, they were actually the first in this.
Wait, we can't use this because now it seems like you're telling me.
Well, now we have to include it all. Because the comedic effect was that you heard it 16 times. And we almost got it exact. Because you said Cahuenga. And I said, oh, you mean Cahuenga?
Yeah, and then we went into that spiel.
First, but you understand that we repeated it?
Right.
Almost to a T.
Well, that's good.
So tell me more about
what you're going to say. The other thing I was going to say is that Cahuenga means on a hill. Like, it means, or like, I don't know if it's city on a hill or something on a hill. Yeah. And Cahuenga was used to describe Studio City, like that whole area, over the hill.
Oh, Cahuenga.
Yeah, Cahuenga. So
I live in Studio City.
You live in Studio City, yeah. So, just a little fun tidbit.
So so that area was called Cahuenga.
Cahuenga, yeah.
And if you think about the road, it kind of goes up a hill.
Up a hill, yeah. So they knew, they were kind of saying that.
I wonder if they feel bad about what's gone on, about how, now we call it Studio City and...
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they're pissed.
But they probably say to themselves, wow, you kept the name for the road. You son of a bitches.
Like an honor? Oh, no, you're saying kind of pissed? Yeah, sorry. Should we get...
Well, I thought something was dripping, but your window is open.
The window's open. I can close it always.
No, it's kind of...
It feels good.
Right? It feels good, yeah. And we don't need an AC like my apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so we're coming to you this time from Silver Lake.
Silver Lake, California.
California. The home of the...
The home of lots of traffic and a pain in the ass to get here. Right. I packed up my microphone. Evie said he didn't feel like coming to my home.
That's not true.
Studio.
That's not true.
No, I was happy to come.
Right.
You know, you have a nice apartment. I just wonder what the echo is like.
In here? And what did you listen to it or no?
Go ahead and talk.
Hi, how you doing?
No, it sounds good.
It sounds good? Really?
I'm telling you, we don't need to buy another microphone.
I like these mics.
These really are good.
What happens if I... Can I kind of do this?
Hello, yeah.
Hello.
You know, I could tell you're doing that.
Yeah? Okay.
But try to move your hand around. Like, I honestly... No, like, pretend like you're going like this. Yeah, I can kind of hear that.
You can kind of hear that? What about this?
Yeah, so you're drinking something, yeah. If I was just listening, I would know that it's weird that you know that certain sounds or
something was going on.
You were drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right.
That's just good.
It's fine.
Good to know. But it sounds great. It really sounds great. And we sound great. I sound smooth.
I love that we spend maybe like 20 to 25 minutes every time just talking about the audio.
Yeah. We do like 12 audio checks
what
and then
lines?
A time check. And we talk about how much we have to edit out of this thing. How do I make it get closer to me? Do I just do this?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
just
there
do
you
that.
go. Yeah.
Cool. See, I have a stand and Evie's just holding the microphone
to my face,
to his mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are kind of using the arm of your chair to you
prop.
have your elbow on the chair.
This is kind of like, makeshift thing. But anyway.
I wonder if people care. They go, oh, this was an interesting podcast. But now I'm finding out that you're holding the microphones.
And they kind of go,
and they go, wait a minute.
It takes me out of it.
Yeah, I'm out of this now. And it's a Shure. Wait a minute. They're not talking on a Shure SM7Bs.
Right.
You know? What if that was like
people's standards?
What people cared about.
Yeah.
You ever see people buy like $18,000 worth of equipment and then you watch what they actually make and you go,
and it's ass.
Oh my God. Yeah. You put the cart before the horse, or you put the horse before the cart, or whatever.
Absolutely. Well, it's like the idea of like I remember when I was a kid, people always had bands, like music bands, and they would always make the shirts before, or like the album cover before, but there was no music, It's
funny because that was one of my like dreams.
Yeah.
I used to want to be like Jim Carrey or something.
Right.
And I always thought like, it's going to be so easy for people to say Joe. And maybe I'll make a logo that says Joe and I'll put my face on T. Like, you never dreamed like that?
No, absolutely. Yeah, or you would make like, I remember my friend wanted to make movies. He was like,
Sorry, I dropped a coaster.
He always wanted to be a director. And I remember.
Dry your tears.
And I remember he made this like movie poster one time for this movie called Tangerine Plus Tie that we kind of co-wrote.
Tangerine Plus
Tie.
Plus Thai?
Yeah. And I remember...
Like Thai food?
No. Tangerine Plus and then TIE.
Oh, like a tie.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what this movie was about. But I remember that he had some Photoshop skills, and so he had taken... He like at the bottom of movies it says like directed by and like the font. He had like, and he put like directed by his name and like co-written, and I was like, oh my God, like I think we're famous.
It's something about like when you mimic
yes.
what you've already seen, because I did that for a poster I did in college, and I will tell you, a little bit of blood ran to my penis.
Absolutely.
I was like, when I found the font, I Googled what font do they use. It's at the bottom of the poster and it's really small. Directed by John Smith. Produced by
Fox Searchlight. Like,
audio direction by, and it has like all these credits.
Right.
But I found the font.
And you go, oh my God.
You go, oh my God, I made it.
This is legit.
It's only uphill from here.
Right.
By the way, the tea is real. Okay, I'm just going to say the tea is good. But now I'm starting to wonder, did you use pasta water?
Why? What do you mean?
Like, it kind of tastes like pasta.
Pasta?
Pasta for some reason.
Get the heck out of here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you know what it tastes like?
Oh.
Egg salad.
Like what?
It kind of tastes like egg salad.
Egg salad?
Like, take a sip and smell it.
No, that's your upper lip.
I did have potato salad for lunch.
Yeah, you had a potato salad. That's why I said that.
No, this tastes like egg salad.
No, mine tastes... What are you talking about? Mine tastes good.
It's good. Don't get me wrong.
No,
what is it reminiscent of?
No, it tastes like a tea. It tastes like... It tastes like oat milk and tea.
I taste egg salad. Do you ever think that maybe I have something wrong with me, or like?
Oh yeah, no, I've thought that many a time.
I'll just pack up now.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
First, you dropped the coaster.
God, I forgot where I was.
And then you blatantly.
A rich man's estate. You've really done a nice thing with this place. It really kind of looks like a home.
It almost does, right? It kind of gives you that vibe.
I would say just maybe get a rug.
I think I need a rug, and I think I need another chair, but...
Definitely a chair, yeah.
That's all in the works. Everything is in the works.
Yeah.
But, I might not be living here anymore because of...
Well, what's that about?
The situation. My landlord said that they're going to sell this place. They're going to sell the house.
Oh, yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
So,
Well, that's kind of shitty. What are you going to do?
I mean, I'll have to move or...
Why do you have to move? You don't have to move.
I guess I don't have to move, yeah. We'll see what... But honestly, I heard them downstairs the other day because, all my windows are open, and they were like... He was talking to someone, and he was like, oh, yeah, and I can make this a basement, and I can put stairs. I'm going to put stairs.
Oh, you heard the word stairs?
I heard the word stairs, and I heard basement.
That's not a basement. That's the first floor.
Well... whoever.
But maybe it's just stairs to get in or something. Or could you think maybe they want to drill down into the earth? I mean,
they might. You could. I don't know because you could make this all one house or whatever.
You could.
But I just think it's so odd because why would you? So there's 3 floors, right? Yeah, and each of them is gonna have a kitchen and these look like apartments.
It's an apartment, yeah.
Yeah,
it's just a really nice apartment. It's big and it's its own floor.
But I'm saying why would you? So let's say I put stairs here, right? Am I gonna? Is this gonna be the 3rd floor of this house with a full stocked kitchen and a living room? It's odd.
What do you mean 3rd floor of this house? Oh no, yeah, they would have to do a lot of construction because they only want one kitchen,
right?
And maybe you do the kitchen on the top floor.
Unless he wants to make this a 2-bedroom or something and connect it with the bottom.
Oh, like a condo?
Right.
Now I'm starting to think that he's just talking about stairs to go into the basement.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
If he was going to put a staircase in here, then they're making it into a house. And you're going to get kicked out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just think it's odd to make it into a house if there's a full kitchen here. That's...
No, I understand that.
Right?
I understand that, yeah. Well, you would have to move the kitchen. You would have to knock this down.
You would have to get rid of it, yeah.
And you would have to sell all the refrigerators in the whole building. So how many apartments are there? 4?
2.
There's only 2?
Well,
but it's a 3-story building?
Well, there's 3. There's the landlord's apartment.
Right. It's an apartment.
It's an apartment, yeah. Then there's a guy above me, and then there's this one. And the guy above me also has a fully stocked kitchen. So it's you're going to have 3 kitchens in 3 floors of your house?
Maybe they're just really lazy and they want,
At any moment.
Hey, honey, I made eggs. And you go, which kitchen? And they go, oh, I actually made them
2.
in all.
I'm in 2.
Or they hire a chef and they want a meal made on all floors at all times. I want it, no matter where I am. They're really rich but really lazy. No matter where I am.
I should have a meal.
I want the same frittata.
Right.
And you know what? It better be the same ingredients as floor 2 because I'm going to talk to my wife about it and I want to be able to... We want to be able to say the same things about the frittata.
It reminds me of Wes Anderson. When they take and he pans down and it's he goes down the house or whatever. Yeah.
With what's the one with the pink hotel?
Yeah, Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest.
And kind of
you know that's all miniatures.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that.
Well, I saw a photograph, and it's just small buildings.
But how do they
put the camera towards it?
Okay, so let's say I have a small building, and then I put the camera. But then how do I get the actors in there?
You mean because they're actual human actors?
Yeah.
Not claymation or something?
They're little clay dolls. Well, you know more about this than I do. Let's hear.
Well, I went to film school. But
where did you go to film school again?
New York University. I'm legally contracted to say it like that.
The full thing.
New York University, the home of broadcasting standards and practices.
Well, actually, you have a beef with New York University.
I do have some beef.
Can we hear a little bit about that?
We're going off subject now. But they didn't. I never touched a piece of film. And what does my diploma say? You know, you're the only person that thinks this is funny. I've tried this at several mics. It does not get a lot.
Film and television?
It's one of those things that's like funny with quotation marks.
Well, no, it's funny on the podcast, I think. I don't think it works as like a...
yeah, it doesn't work as a joke, like a straight out joke.
It works as like
because
a conversation.
I'm starting to be able to really tell the difference between something that's funny versus like funny in your head.
Right.
Or conversationally funny, yeah.
Well, it's like the thing, like I always say stuff about Catalina where they go like, or, you know, when I'm like, oh, I'm from Catalina, and they're like, oh, yeah, like, interesting. And I go...
Yeah, but if you said that on the stage...
Can I finish what I'm saying?
I wanted to shut you down as soon as possible. Could you tell? Like
Jesus.
I was right. I cut you off.
I know you did, yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. So Can
I finish my thought? Is that... And then I go, oh, you know, like... Yeah, I left my loincloth at home or something. Or I go like, I was voted off the island. You're not even remotely laughing, but people find that funny.
What's the loincloth? Because you're a barbarian?
I'm like a savage Indian or something.
That's funny.
Native American, sorry.
For the audience, the very first day I met you, I had been to the Catalina for the first time.
That's true. Yeah,
and I parachuted with my ex-lover. Or I mean, a parasailed.
He's not an ex-lover. He's like an ex.
Yeah, actually, I guess you could say that X is
because an ex-lover is like a lover.
Okay, so here we go with this. So, what's the difference between a lover and an ex?
I think an ex-lover is just somebody that you know maybe had sex with or like it was kind of more
little hanky
fling. The word fling. And an ex is like there was some time spent.
Yeah,
you know,
you played house together and you did all that.
Some fights and there was, you know.
So this was my ex.
An ex, yeah.
This was the worst decision of my whole life. No, it's not. I really don't have anything against.
Yeah.
We'll call him Patrick.
Yeah.
So I parasailed with Patrick. Yeah, and that was the first day I met you. I went to Catalina Island.
I remember that, and when I had said Catalina at the thing, right
and I went, oh.
And I was put off.
You don't have much happiness inside of you, so you weren't.
There was too much.
Said, oh my God, or something. I said,
whoa, get away from me, strange man.
No, you do your typical one eyebrow up, and I thought to myself, I have something in common with this guy, you know. And then I emailed you. Remember I emailed?
I do remember. Yeah. I always thought you were funny.
And I misspelled your name.
I always thought you were funny, but I thought that in that class you got a bad rap because of certain circumstances. That class was
like the worst class. That class made me want to put a gun in my mouth. It was just the worst class in the whole entire world.
Yeah, no, and I feel you specifically got a lot of like.
Well, you too.
And me, actually, that's true. Me too.
I remember you did an improv scene where you were a teacher, and it was it didn't make any sense, but it was just funny the way you were doing it. And you were teaching us about leaves or something, and you had different types of leaves, and it was all imagination, but I started to see it, and I was like, wow, it's, I don't know what this is, but it's something.
Right.
And she tore you to bits.
Yeah, right.
She goes, I remember she said, stop.
Stop.
Okay, just stop for a second.
Right.
And you go, oh, fuck. When she does that?
Yeah.
Should we even say the name of the teacher?
No.
Okay, yeah, she doesn't deserve it.
No, yeah. I don't think... But yeah,
that was a rough class.
It was a rough class, yeah. And I remember one time she said something about your brain. She was like, I just don't understand your brain. Do you remember that?
That was such a backhanded compliment.
It's such a
If I could just cut your brain open right down the cerebrum with a chainsaw and... but what she actually said, she goes, I just want to understand how you think.
Right, that's what she said, yeah. Shut up.
It wasn't a good, it was like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
But I was also like you notice how I make a lot of associations that people have a hard time following?
Right. And that's
that's just my whole life. I said this drink tastes like macaroni salad.
Well, I didn't appreciate that, if we want to be honest.
Oh, did it insult you?
A little bit.
There's tears in your eyes.
You come into my house.
I literally see a little bit of a tear forming in your left eye.
You come into my house, I make you a tea.
That tastes like macaroni salad. No, it's good. It's good. You know what it is? I have a very weird like tasting
Palate?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, taste is smell. And
Taste is smell, yeah.
yeah.
The
So,
olfactory or something. Olfactory?
Ol-
Yeah.
yeah.
Olfactory.
Olfactory.
But yeah, no, you do, or people have said that to you before, that you jump from A to Z or something, right?
Yeah.
Without going from A to B.
That was my Yelp review. It was my bad Yelp review. Wait, so what were we saying?
I don't even know
that might
anymore,
be the name of the podcast. What were we saying? But there's 12,000 podcasts named that, you know.
Well, I said I kind of liked, huh?
Yeah, that's already done.
It's done? Fuck, man. Everything is done.
You know what's not done? Jovi. Jovi is not done.
That's because that's stupid.
How about the Joe and Evie show?
That's cool. I like that.
Well, no, it would have to be the Evie and Joe show. It just sounds better that way.
No, I think it sounds cool. The Joe and Evie show. Or the Evie and Joe show. Either way sounds fun.
Because Joe rhymes with show. Do you realize that?
I noticed that, yeah.
That's kind of the exciting thing.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something. God damn it.
So you're worried about being evicted? Is that?
Maybe that's where we started, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'll be fine, regardless.
Well, you're in a contract if you think about it.
Yeah, well, that's what you were saying, is that I might be good for a year, right? Is that kind of, yeah, so, we'll see.
No, you will be good for a year.
Right.
What is your lease? Did you sign a lease?
I signed a lease, yeah, for a year. But all the wording on there is so,
they do that on purpose.
Yeah.
They know no one can read that.
No, I know.
They might as well put Chinese letters in there.
Right.
It's not readable.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, it's confusing. Maybe I'll get a lawyer to take a look at it.
You're not going to get a lawyer.
Maybe I'll hire a lawyer.
The day you hire a lawyer to read your lease.
Lawyers are expensive.
That's when we really know you're rich.
Yeah.
Lawyers they're expensive.
I know.
Don't lawyers kind of like do that thing where they go, you're on the time, you're on the clock.
You're on the hour. I get paid by the hour.
Like Larry David will call his lawyer.
Right.
And complain about macaroni salad. Well, they didn't have any dill, and then the lawyer's like, okay, Larry, you're on the clock. Or is that just a TV thing?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I mean, I do think they charge by the hour, so it's probably like $300 an hour or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's why they can afford Audis and all that stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like,
Would you want an Audi or a Porsche?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
What kind of car would you like?
At this point, I think I'm just, content with what I have, and also like what?
What's your dream car? You don't dream about cars?
No, not really. I like an old car. I would like an old Sunday car, but those cars are like, you can grab them for like 10, 15 grand,
Just grab them on your way to the grocery store. They're in a vending machine.
Yeah, you notice how I said that kind of casually?
Yeah, you ever have little slips
of
like privilege or whatever?
Absolutely.
And you go,
that was you're right. You caught me on that.
Grab a fucking Sunday car.
Red-handed. Well, I almost bought a boat during the pandemic. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, and you had to park it on Melrose, and
no,
that's in episode 1 of this.
Oh, is it really? Did I say that?
That you almost bought a boat. I think you said that. You almost bought a boat.
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah.
Well, for the new listeners, what were you going to do?
From episode 1 to episode 4, or whatever this is.
Yeah.
What are we on time?
Oh, there's my favorite question. 24.
Oh, not bad.
And it's 3:42.
Okay, yeah, I guess maybe I did say that already. Then I won't say it. But it's expensive to house a boat, basically, in the sea.
Yeah, you gotta get like a little ramp and like a dock because
Yeah, a mooring costs like $300 a month.
Well, what's a mooring?
A mooring.
You said that.
It's just like a parking spot, but it's literally just like a buoy where you dock your boat or whatever.
It's a buoy?
Or I don't know if it's a buoy, but it's like a place to dock your boat. I think it's a buoy. Yeah. But you do pay.
I thought a buoy was like a little floating balloon.
Well, that's what it is. I think. Well, I don't know if they're floating or if they're like into the.
Oh, it's in the water.
But it's in the water, and then you tie your boat to it or whatever, anchor or whatever the heck. And so, but you pay for that like parking spot. so to speak. Yeah.
Huh.
But it's expensive.
How much is it?
$300 to $400 a month, and that wasn't
ridiculous. You could have a Range Rover for that much money.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard that the depreciation value on boats is just like
it's bad,
horrendous, worse than cars. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually, I've never heard of anyone reselling a boat. Where would you resell it? Craigslist?
Yeah. Well, that's where I was looking for the boat. Craigslist.
Hmm. And you would get a sailboat?
It was a sailboat, yeah.
That requires a lot of muscle, I believe. You would have to, like, hold on to strings.
I think so, yeah.
And if a strong wind comes, what are you going to do?
I think it's a lot of holding on to strings.
Yeah.
Is what I would...
I've seen videos of people on sailboats, and they're like, they'll be peaceful, and it'll be like,
but then once they want to go back...
and then a strong wind comes, fuck! They're, like, holding on to strings, and, like, sweat's coming out.
The hatches and... doing Dutchman
he's like
knots.
considering putting the rope around his throat because he's just so stressed out.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of suicide jokes with me, and that's not good. I shouldn't joke about suicide.
No, you shouldn't, because it's
call 1-800 if you know a friend in need. You ever see that on TV? They'll make the slightest reference to suicide, and then there will be
a thing underneath it,
a blurb at the end. So I think legally,
you have to. You
got to do something.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being aware.
Thank you for saying another thing we have to edit out, you know.
The suicide, yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
No, I think it's... Well, I think we should be, you know, get rid of the stigma, talk about suicide, because that's...
Yeah, you want to talk about it?
No. I knew a guy in college that committed suicide. There was a guy named... Whatever. But yeah, it was crazy.
You don't know his name?
No, I do know his name, but I didn't want to say it.
Oh. I thought you didn't know his name.
No, I knew it.
I know a guy who committed suicide. His name was I don't remember his name, but
no, I wanted to bring it up. I didn't want to say the name.
No, I know.
Yeah, but it's kind of insane. Yeah, I don't think we should. Yeah, we shouldn't.
We probably should edit this up.
Yeah. Moving on. Moving forward.
I wrote some things in my notes.
Did you really? Yeah, I would love to hear them.
Let's hear if you agree. These are not jokes, but these are... You getting a text or...
Yeah, hold on, I'm busy.
Is your lover texting?
Okay, go ahead.
Lover or your ex? Okay, I wrote this down.
Oh, is this specifically for this?
No, but this is a thought I had.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. People in TV shows always have lamps that turn on at the same time.
What does that even mean?
This is an observation.
What does that even mean?
Next time you watch a TV show where there's lamps, they flick a switch and all the lamps come on at the same time. What kind of home is that? Are they all plugged into the same extension cord?
The electrician came in and they go, I want one switch to turn on everything.
I hate having to go around and turn my lamps on.
And he goes, fuck, okay, we're going to have to go through... Yeah, we can...
He's going to go... It's called a power strip. You didn't have to hire me. You know, you just go to Home Depot.
I'm going to have to wire everything. That's interesting. Maybe I'll look into that.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you agree that it's kind of weird that happens? Or
it is weird that it would... it is weird that a switch would turn on a lamp because every lamp that I've seen, I have to go to the lamp and go to the... Or like a...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a button or a string.
Rarely are people going to the lamps and going... Hey, let me go. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. There's always a flick of a switch, and then everything turns on.
In a movie,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Which is not real,
right?
I have never lived in a. But you know that I grew up in a house where literally the light switches didn't even work.
Oh, really?
The light switch, you would go like this, and nothing would happen because we had a lamp, and I would go, Mom, the light broke. No, Joe, you have to go over to the lamp.
And turn it on.
And it was one of those sticks with 3 little lamps sticking out of it. So you had to turn each one on, and it was like a round thing. Well,
have you ever been in a house and like you turn the light switch, and it's like a dead switch. Like it just doesn't do anything. Yeah.
And then you go, I'm letting off fireworks somewhere, or doing confetti,
Right.
I think nothing is happening, but some guy is like using a blow jar and it's going
in Australia. What the fuck?
On the other side of the world. What?
What? Yeah. 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 That's actually interesting. Or like also, have you ever seen like a switch to give power to the electrical outlets? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, you mean in the wall? In the wall?
Yeah, sometimes like an electrical outlet won't have power, and you'll have to turn the switch on, and it'll give power to the electrical outlet. Have you ever seen that?
I have seen that.
Yeah.
In bathrooms a lot. Yeah.
In bathrooms, yeah, right.
It's red. There's red and a white.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it kicks. I think it's a breaker or something. I don't know what.
I honestly have no idea.
It's
When it comes to
too
like
little is explained. Why did I learn about parabolas?
right,
But I walked into the world, and no one told me what that was.
Right.
You know, it's one of those kind of thoughts
where you're like, oh,
you could have told me this in school.
in school, yeah, teach us this. Is there anything else in there? That was it?
I have a lot.
Oh, really? Let's hear one more.
One more. Okay, let me make it.
Or
good.
let's hear 7 more.
You have my attention.
Do you have 7 of them?
Here's the next. You just want to hear the next one,
Yeah. Don't
and you
even
can decide
don't
if
judge
these
them.
are. These are not jokes. These are just to remind everyone. These are thoughts and
observations. Yeah,
observations.
merely
Nearly what?
merely observations.
Merely an observation.
Maybe that'll be the name of the
Oh yeah,
segment.
I'm sure there's probably 12 podcasts.
Or no, I was thinking of a segment, but okay.
Oh, a segment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's kind of good. Yeah, we might have to have segments to this. Anyways, next thought.
Okay.
Women in shows always put on lotion while making big decisions.
Oh,
In bed.
that's interesting. Right.
Honey, I wanted to talk to you.
Right.
You know,
It's always at the tail because that's true. It is kind of
they
like
always put lotion on.
well, but I'm trying to think logistically. Okay, you know you just showered or you've done your nightlies. I took the makeup off.
Your nightlies?
Yes,
That's
I call
what
them
you call
I
your
call them nightlies. My nightly routine. Do you have a couple?
I gotta get ready for bed. I gotta do my nightlies.
Do you not have?
What do you do?
Do
Is
you-
there homework?
Do you
What
not
are
have
the
a thing
nightly-
where do you not have a specific set of things that you
You're
need to
actually
do?
opening up a very big portal because I have realized that for me to go to bed now it's just getting longer by the day.
Yeah,
Now
I keep
gotta
adding
pop
things.
Propecia. And now I need to floss. And now I need to put my night cream
That's
on.
what I'm
I
saying.
have night cream
Your
and day
nightlies.
cream.
Yeah, exactly. I take off my contacts. I clean my contacts. I brush my teeth.
It takes an hour
It takes an hour to get into bed.
But the time you get back in by the time you get in bed, you're like ready to do something because now your brain is so turned on.
Well, and that's why you go 30 minutes. I go, I'm gonna go to bed soon, right? And I have to account for 30 minutes because of the nightlies and getting into bed.
Soon meaning possibly the next,
Half hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Because I don't know about you, but I use all these different types of creams.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll put a special cream only on my neck. I put the avocado cream on the neck.
Is it a neck cream?
I don't know, but I made it my neck cream.
Really?
It's just got avocado oil.
No, I only put creams and stuff in after I shower, after I wash my face. And I
Yeah.
usually only wash my face.
I mean, I'm the same way, yeah.
Yeah.
But I shower at night usually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't you don't shower at night? Excuse me.
I shower whenever I can. As it comes.
Are you a shower addict? You made it sound like you take showers.
No, I just like...
You're slowly taking off your shower. I take showers. Actually, I'm going to take a shower right now.
Right
I'll be
now.
right back.
Sorry. No. Wait, all that to say though, okay, so the woman, they've just finished their nightly sort of routine. She's getting into bed. She's at the tail end of it. It's kind of like...
She's finished her nightlies, yeah.
Well, and she's kind of doing kind of like a... What is that? Like a residual... That's the last thing,
But
putting
she
on
has
the
something
lotion.
to say.
But she has something to say.
They're in bed together.
So she's ready to go.
And and he's in a book.
Right.
For some reason. Pretending
Well,
to
because he finished earlier.
he finished his nightlies
earlier,
Or
yeah.
he has less because
Or
he doesn't care about
Exactly.
his skin as much.
He doesn't have to remove makeup and
And
stuff.
she's just in bed.
Right.
And the camera's on her. And she goes... You can tell she's
Did you
thinking-
think it was weird? Did you think it was weird that... Did you think it was weird that... It's always in the form of a question.
So Sarah brought potato salad to the gathering today. And
the
he's
guy-
like,
and the guy-
uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And she's like, just odd because she said that she doesn't eat potatoes. And she's putting on lotion,
And he and then he goes, yeah. He's still reading. And she goes, do you think her and
Do you still
Do you
love
think
me?
her and Jack are having sex? And then the book comes down.
And he goes, they are not having sex because I've been having sex with her. And then she goes, I knew it, and then,
Right.
or I don't know. That would be the melodramatic one.
But I think you're right.
There's lots of lotion in beds.
But the conversation, the bed is just what is it, like
A talking booth.
a mecca for conversation.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, and then you wonder why you can't sleep.
Oh yeah, because
You're having the hardest conversations in bed.
absolutely, and even just all the conversations in bed are
You should save hard conversations for the home office. Because
Can you imagine?
there's things in there that, computers and
and you can pull up that's because
or you could write a letter you could say, I want to divorce you, and I'm writing it down, and I'm typing it into a Word document, and I'm printing it.
Well, but see, now you're talking about something that's right. The bed acts almost like an island. Think about that, because
Whoa.
if you are in a home office, let's say, let's say you say, well, I think that men blah 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 or something, right? Or women, and you go, well, let's find out. I have a computer right here. I can fact check.
I don't think that women should be eating potato salad if they are starch intolerant.
Right.
And he goes, oh, really? Let's find out.
Or you go like, Cuba is not an island, and then she goes, really? I think it is an island.
Let me just a quick Google search, and she has to type one finger at a time. And
Right.
he goes, I told you to take typing class. Now I have to wait.
But what I'm saying is, when you're on a bed, you're almost removed from everything.
Oh, like you're isolated from.
You're kind of floating out at sea,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
so everything just falls away.
So it's a very it's the zone where that stuff is going to happen. There's
Well,
no distractions. But his nose is in a book.
Well, yeah.
Would you think it's possible to say that a man will always find a distraction? Even if it's like you picking up the cup right now because you don't. Let's just say
Because
I
I'm
asked you a
unsure,
hard.
huh?
What?
Oh my god! Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just say I asked you a hard question. Like,
Okay, ask me a hard question.
I don't know. Do you think I'm funny? Do you think I'm? And then like if you reach for your cup and drink.
I go. Yeah.
Cricket, or you just don't answer.
Oh, I don't answer. Okay, ask me it again.
So do you think I'm funny or I just start crying. Yeah, so the book is kind of like his.
It's a
way of-
distraction. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's nothing to do with men. I think men and women can both be distracted.
Is this painful for you? You seem like you're in pain right now.
I think both men and women
You
can
would-
be.
I think men and women are both. Your shoulders were almost like crunched
Like
up.
tense.
Yeah.
No, I think
I don't know.
Give us another thought.
Okay, you want another one?
Yeah. Is this gonna be? Are these all show related? Somebody watched
These
3
are.
episodes of fucking true crime, and now.
Here's one.
Uh-huh.
No, okay, I was watching the pilots for the new shows. Okay.
There we go.
Here's one. And this one is actually very
Controversial.
this one's very true. Actually, I'm going to say two at once right now, okay? And these are both they kind of piggyback off each other.
Okay.
Why are cops from different departments always fighting in TV shows? Okay, don't say anything.
Okay, I'm not saying
Now the
anything.
next one. Firefighters are always eating and fighting over lasagna.
Stupid.
They are. They're always
This is
eating.
now,
and-
this is now
They're
stupid.
always eating. I watched a 911 show on Fox, and they were fighting over lasagna.
This has become stupid.
Well, you won't let me slide down the pole today? Well, guess what? You're not getting any of my homemade lasagna. Like, they had a fight.
This is just writing, I think.
And then here's another one. They take the fire truck to go to Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys, the musical? Uptown Girl. Did you mean Jersey Fire Subs or what? Jersey's Mike's.
Oh, what did I say?
Jersey Boys, the musical.
I meant Jersey Mike's.
Frankie Valley.
But fire subs is a thing.
Firehouse Subs is really good. I love Firehouse Subs. Shout out.
Firehouse subs. I've never had that.
It's good. They have good They have good sandwiches, and they're owned by like a firefighters or whatever.
They're owned by firefighters?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder why.
Because they're always
Because firefighters love food. They're always cooking and shit.
Wait, what was the first one? People in department.
The cops always
Fighting with other people.
There's
other
always
departments.
detectives that show up from the FBI, and they
That's
go.
true, though. There is always like an element of.
They're fighting.
Well,
Why?
he's not in
why?
my department. Yeah.
What are you doing here, John? I told you that this is FBI's jurisdiction.
Right.
Can they just get along?
Rank and file.
Oh, there we go. That's a good rank and file.
Rank and file. That's a good word, huh?
I've heard that before, but I don't know what it means.
I don't know what it means either. Actually, I just said it.
I'm thinking of files. I don't know. Okay, so what are your thoughts?
I don't have anything. I usually don't have thoughts like that. That's. Yeah.
You just don't watch a lot of TV, or?
No, I haven't been watching a lot of TV as of late. Really?
So what do you watch TikTok or?
No, I just
the shadows across your floor.
Yeah, I watch the shadows across the floor.
You read, okay. So
yeah, I've just been reading a lot, and I've been.
What do you read?
Well, I'm reading this book called Clara and the Sun. It's really good.
Clara and the Sun?
Clara and the Sun.
Clara and the Sun.
It's about this little AI woman. And
AI woman?
It's like a little AI girl. And she's like, you kind of see the world through her primitive, well, and I hate to say that word, but she's like learning about humans, and you kind of see her go through that. It's really kind of cool.
And she's small. She's tiny.
Yeah, she's kind of like she's almost like a toy doll, and they're companions to like children. They help, children.
Oh, but it has a conscious.
Yeah, it kind of has like a conscious brain or whatever. It's interesting. But it learned, and at one point it like mimics the girl. It can like, and so like the mother asks her to like mimic the daughter, and it gets too much. Like. She's like, stop it. It's too much.
It's too real.
It's too real, yeah.
Well, this kind of sounds like Westworld or something.
Yeah, Westworld. Have you ever seen Westworld?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I saw the original movie.
Westworld?
Yeah, with Yul Brynner.
No.
Did you ever see that?
No. Yul Brynner?
I thought it was Brynner. It's Brenner?
Oh, no, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
When did that come out?
Long time ago.
Really? Can you give us...
I would say like 1964.
Before Christ or
BC?
1964. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it was good. They're like robots and
here we go. Now we're entering Joe's sleepy mode. The eyes.
Well, I start to like get exhausted hearing my own voice. You ever get tired hearing your own voice?
Well, I get tired. Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh gosh, shut up.
And it enters like another register where I'm almost hoarse, and I'm like it kind of I start to like lose.
You go higher?
Well, yeah, I start to lose.
It's just.
Yeah, it almost feels like that. Like I'm just kind of really on its last legs,
It's like a boat running out of steam.
Yeah. I thought about just now. It does seem to me like cinema is. Now I don't know why I had this thought.
Now it's suddenly like a critics podcast. Welcome back to Movies for You.
But it seemed to me like cinema is really kind of like an American thing, like the American.
Like we only care about it.
Yeah, like it was kind of invented
Cheeseburgers
here.
and movies. Welcome to America.
Actually, that's a good question. Where was the first motion picture?
Was it Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah, was it here?
I don't know.
Though?
I told you we didn't touch film in film school.
So
we had to watch Charlie Chaplin. Lord have mercy.
Oh, really?
Oh,
you didn't like it?
Oh, my God. We had to watch Charlie Chaplin.
It was boring?
Who likes Charlie?
It's kind of funny.
Actually, huh?
I think it's kind of funny.
I mean, it's
kinda
funny
like,
too. You bust out laughing because he's moving in 12 frames per second and he's black and white and blurry. Well, he does kind of do goofy stuff.
Or like Buster Keaton. Have you ever seen Buster Keaton?
Yeah, I think so. He did something with the train, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He did the first prank or I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's kind of like cinema prank, like movie pranks, or he'll like climb up the ladder and continues to climb or something. Like,
Oh, I thought that was like Three Stooges. Or
well, yeah, like the Three Stooges. I like the Three Stooges.
yeah,
You don't like that kind of comedy?
Oh, you like slapstick?
Slapstick, yeah.
I think it's something good to look at. I'm not necessarily laughing,
Right.
but it's entertaining to the eye.
Really?
If I'm sitting in a waiting room and I had a choice between watching David Spade with subtitles on or a silent Three Stooges thing, my eyes would go to the Three Stooges.
Right,
they really
because
would.
it's more visual.
You know, they fall in a bucket and then one tries to get the other one out and they get stuck and then the other one thinks the foot is a telephone. You know, something like that. Like,
Right. It's more visual, yeah.
it's visual, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love David Spade. I don't know why I said David Spade.
No, it
But-
seems like you
but-
hate David Spade.
I would watch a medical video before I would watch David Spade's comedy.
Spade's
David
comedy?
Spade, yeah.
I think he's funny. Yeah.
No, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of see. I actually do see what you're saying. It is very. I guess it doesn't make me go ha ha ha. You know.
Well, see, now the truth is coming out. You started out by saying,
But I like to watch it. I do like watching it.
do you think that you watch it for your acting ability? Do you watch it for research of any kind, or?
What do you mean? Like I
Why
want
do
to be.
you
I
why
want
do
to
you
be a
watch
Three
that, though?
Stooge. I want to be the fourth Stooge.
You want to be the fourth Stooge?
I want to be the
but
fourth
like
Stooge.
300 years later, like they're like, okay. And then what if you become like wildly popular? Like
Right.
you're the Stooge that was never.
That never got the respect that I needed. No, I don't. What do you mean, like for research? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like I'm just basically asking, why do you watch that? Why do you watch that?
Why do you watch that crap?
Yeah.
I like it because I don't know. There's a simplicity to it, but there's also a thoughtfulness to it that I think that
It's very thought out.
sometimes, yeah, and I think
Mhm.
that to me it seems like there's 2 or 3 people going, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if this and this and this and then this and this," and then they execute it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like, let's say like a Marvel movie now or something where you kind of can see. I mean, not that those movies aren't also thought out, but it just seems like there's so many guys in suits going, you know, now we're gonna have, this is the moment when Iron Man does this, and we're gonna do this. And
Like you hear them.
yeah,
And if we make him explode at exactly 30 minutes in,
right.
we will
Based
make
on data, we
more
know
money.
that at this moment people get up to pee. So this is where we introduce.
It's crazy that you say that because that
Thanos.
might be all movies ever, anywhere in all existence. Movies are formulaic, and there's a way to make a movie script. If you're talking about like big budget movies.
Well, I think
But
now
my problem with Marvel is something completely different.
Well, and I think now, yeah. This is interesting. I think now, I wonder how much like data, you know, like because like now we're accumulating all this data. I wonder how much data is being driven into like movies.
Data points,
Yeah,
statistics, and numbers. Mhm.
right. Being like this is people like to watch this, and like this is how we get people in the seats, and
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a formula even for pop songs. The beat
Yeah,
has
right.
to drop here, and it has to be this BPM based on the other BPM, and
Right.
then you have to have a girl going ah, ah, and that gets just the ramp up of
Right.
morphine or endorphins or whatever it is inside of you.
And
It does stuff. It's all formulaic, but it's funny that you bring that up about Marvel because I just don't think that Marvel is interesting.
At all.
I'd
period.
much rather watch a woman who has a fear of people seeing her wrists, and she has to go through great lengths to get shirts that cover her wrists.
Okay.
That's a way more interesting movie than a frickin' you want me to believe that a guy has a metal
Is that an actual
suit
thing?
with a magnet in the middle to hold the pieces of metal from coming from his heart?
Wait a minute. Is that an actual
Okay.
thing? The wrist thing?
No, I made it up.
No, but there was a movie of something similar to that. A woman who was like afraid of this, and then she went to great lengths to do that. You see what I did just then?
Who, what, where, when? This to that.
This to that to
that.
then. But that's a good idea. Maybe,
To cover her wrists?
Yeah, it's kind of an
but see, it's
interesting-
way
huh?
more interesting than a frickin' guy who's green and he can hover.
right.
Okay. Who wrote that? Like a fucking 4-year-old? Okay.
Right.
Yay. Why am I?
We're gonna have to cut that out
Why? Is that offensive?
because it sounds kind of.
What would you say is offensive about it? Because it sounds like what? What does it sound like? So you have this roof out here with those Spanish tiles.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever like tried to hang off of one of those?
What do you mean? The roof or the tiles?
The roof with the tiles.
Have you ever tried to
Excuse me.
hang off of it?
Like I always see in movies that those kind of Spanish tiles, like you see how the tiles on the roof are stacked. They always slide off.
Oh yeah, right.
Like I was watching one of the Jurassic Park movies, and she has to hang on the tile, and and she goes
Yeah. Bryce
And-
Dallas Howard. I love her.
No, I watched the old. I think it was Jurassic Park 3.
Laura Dern?
The trilogy. No.
You've been watching a lot of HBO Max. I've noticed.
What the fuck have I been watching? I watched The Staircase.
Yeah, right. Did you finish that?
I finished that. Yeah, it was
Really?
pretty good. Yeah.
Was he guilty or not guilty?
Oh, he's absolutely guilty, but the show doesn't.
Doesn't account for that?
No.
Really?
Well, they kind of leave it open to interpretation. There's something about an owl.
Right.
Have you watched anything of The Staircase?
I know. I seen the documentary.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Yeah, where with the daughters and everything. I always thought that the relationship between the daughters and him was odd.
Well, you and like the rest of the world.
It really?
It's crazy.
I made it seem like it was the most original thought ever.
Well, I know I might be splitting the room right now, but I think
I always
that
thought
they're weird.
Yeah. Wait. So do they touch on that in the series?
That there's weirdness going on?
Like,
no, it gets into their story is really what it does.
Like, do you think there's kind of a sexual energy between the daughters and the
I
and the
knew
dad?
you were going that direction.
But not
and
even
I was trying
sexual.
to steer the ship away from them.
Oh, really? Why? Because it
I don't think that you think that he's having sex with them?
I don't think he's having sex with them. I just think that they maybe kiss on the lips a little too much.
Happy birthday, sweetheart. And he puts his tongue in her mouth and she goes, "Whoa, Dad." And he goes, "I said happy birthday.
Give Daddy a kiss.
And she goes, "Oh, fine.
Come here." No, but I think they like love him in a way that unconditionally to the point where
Like too unconditionally?"
yeah, like where they like I think they like know that he killed the mom and love him anyway. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
And I think that's weird. I think that's fucked up.
Well, that's not sexual, but yeah.
Well, and then
They're going to defend him blindly.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But there's like a creepiness, like almost like he's like a cult leader to them.
Yeah. "Father, would you like us to wash your feet now? And
Right.
we'll clean the blood up.
Right.
You spattered blood. We'll clean it
We'll
up."
clean it up, yeah. Mom's blood.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
But they do have that weird, like, culty type vibe
you
to
agree?
them. Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
But do they touch upon that in the show at all, or no?
No, they actually go into, like, what would you... what would you want the show to go? And episode 5...
I want the show to show
Why
one of them.
are they so weird? It's named, Why Are They So Weird?
Right.
No, they don't do that.
Okay.
They really go into their stories. And like
Whose stories?
Well, one of them is like in the closet.
The daughters?
One of the daughters, yeah.
Oh, whoa.
And I mean, I didn't know that from the documentary.
Me neither.
But the other one is like, wait, what's going on? She has her own issues.
I gotta watch
the
this.
guy is kind of mean to her. Michael is kind of mean to her.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't buy her ticket to come. Or no, that's the other. I don't know. One of them is a lesbian. The other one is just having a hard life.
Wow.
They try to bond. They smoke cigarettes outside of like a Chinese restaurant. There's.
So you're giving me kind of vignettes.
Are these spoilers?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like what it is. It doesn't really...
Right.
You're there for the narrative. You're there for the experience. It's not...
How interesting,
It's not
though,
going to get you to conclusions.
how interesting that somebody did that. Like, take kind of this real... Like, it's like if they did that for the drinks or like, like these making a murder and then they make a series off of it. That's interesting.
Oh, like a documentary?
Yeah, right? Like, well...
I don't know anything about the Jinx.
People go from... Wait, what?
What's the Jinx?
You've seen the Jinx.
The Jinx. No.
The guy where he's like going to the bathroom and he goes, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that," or you don't remember that? And they capture it on audio. "I shouldn't have murdered her," or whatever. You don't remember that? Come on.
No, he said it out loud, and they
You never
recorded
saw
it?
that?
No.
He yeah. So they were interviewing him, and this is like a huge spoiler, but this whole time they're kind of chasing him, thinking that he murdered somebody or something. And at one point he goes to the bathroom after they're doing an interview, and he's still mic'd up, and he goes, "Oh no, like I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have murdered her." He's like, he thinks he's in the bathroom.
Why would he say that?
It's bizarre. And you can, and I can just picture the audio guy going, "We got something."
He's like, I really, yeah.
He goes, "Guys, come
my
here."
work is going to be on display right now.
Absolutely. But yeah, you got to watch that. It's even with the spoiler, it's fascinating because I knew before going.
The Jinx.
It's
and
really
it's a
good.
documentary, and they turned it into a scripted.
No, they didn't. But I'm saying, like, what if they did? That's kind of I don't understand that who would think to do that? But I guess it's.
I know
smart.
it's got a document. That's why I was skeptical to. Some guy at your birthday party told me to watch The Staircase.
Oh, Nick probably, yeah.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
He was funny, and he told me to watch The Staircase.
And you liked it.
I liked it, but I was skeptical because I was like, oh, I already seen the
Staircase documentary.
I don't need two of it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but they're still yet able to make it interesting.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
And that's interesting.
There's still something there.
And that's so interesting because sometimes you go, well, documentaries are more interesting, the humanness of it, but now these are actors playing sort of. Does that make sense? Like sometimes I've heard people go, I only watch documentaries because they show, that's where you see real human behavior. And so you go, that's where the meat and potatoes is. But this is now like, that's kind of must be a daunting task for the actors.
This is the opposite, yeah.
Right.
Oh, because now they're being held up against the real thing.
Right.
Yeah, if you just get a script for a movie and you don't know what it is.
You can make it up.
Yeah, and you go, I get to make my creative choices about the character.
Right.
There's a documentary and you have to like watch it and.
Actually, I heard somebody once told me that they were like, somebody who had once said that the Oscars should have a separate category for like biopics and like, for like when Eddie Redmayne played Stephen Hawking because the character is already kind of there, and so they're using all of the elements of the person to make the character.
Yeah.
But somebody who makes it, like Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, that character is made from scratch.
Right,
he's not,
right.
I mean, I'm sure maybe he's basing it off of whatever, but he's not like basing it off
not
of
trying to
Lucille
be
Ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's another one, the Lucy.
Right,
with
right.
Javier Bardem.
Right,
Also
right.
Javier Bardem.
Right.
But
Ricardo.
yeah, that's a great point because it is, the word that comes to mind is difficult. It's 10 times harder. It's hard enough to act, but now I have to. But it's almost kind of what you would say about. But even impressions, like comedic impressions for SNL,
Right.
those you're kind of like trying to be like them, but you're kind of like making it funny and doing jokes still. You're doing.
Right.
This is literally acting for recreating something like
to the T or
Yeah.
yeah.
it's kind of like now I'm thinking of when that guy plays the guy from Queen, what's his name again?
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
You know how he got the performance like to a T, and they show the video side by side,
And the soda can is whatever
Yeah.
tapped over the
Yeah.
same way. Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother art form. So
It's a different art form. Yeah.
So we'll make the Oscars another half hour longer. Just to include
That's
this
what you took
new
out of it?
category. Yeah.
Well, because
As
it
if
is.
the Oscars aren't long enough.
It is. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's its own category, I think.